First pitch, I'm the Prez, Drew Martin with us from sportsmemo.com, the man who returns the emails, the man who answers the phones, the man who runs the show. How are you, Drew?
Prez, I'm doing good, man. Happy Tuesday morning to you. Happy Tuesday out there to the watchers. It's $2 Tuesday. Sports Memo, so top play for just $2 at Sports Memo. It's Robbie Vino with a 5%er in the NBA. Go check that out. He's been good with his 5% picks, especially in the NBA, up there over 60%, near 70%. .com. It's $2 Tuesday, as at WagerTalk, Press.
Yeah, WagerTalk as well. Listen, listeners, every Monday is $9 Monday. You buy any package you want for $9. Tuesdays is our $2 Tuesdays. And as Drew said, Sports Memo, Rob Vino is the featured handicapper. And at WagerTalk.com, we have Ralph Michaels from Kel Sports as our featured $2 Tuesday handicapper. And it's a baseball game of the week. And also, just so you guys know, when you do buy our $2 Tuesday plays, you also do get a secondary code for another offer. So it's always worth checking out. Head over to WagerTalk.com or SportsMemo.com and take advantage of our $2 Tuesdays. Drew, listen, there's always 600 baseball games on. Let me just explain the parameters because we spoke about this earlier. It's very hard for the two of us to take apart every game. If there's a game that you literally don't like at all, like, say, Philadelphia versus Detroit, just say, hey, look, I can't find a bet. There's other better opportunities on the board, and we're just going to have a big fat pass. Otherwise, these shows are too long. And the other thing is I'm going to start trying to get two people on first pitch on a regular basis because there's just too many games for one guest to take apart. So let's get to it, brother, and let's start with the aforementioned Philadelphia Phillies at home, hosting the Detroit Tigers. Both teams, slightly to the under. Both teams are up money for their customers if you bet them on the money line, and both teams are up slight money for their customers if you bet them on the run line. We got Philadelphia tonight at a massive chalk favorite, minus anywhere from 208 to 220. The over and under in this game is 9, Drew. Detroit's lost 4 in a row. Lost 2 to Chicago, lost 2 to Boston. And Philadelphia, Teddy and I were talking last week. Something's wrong with this team, but now they just rattled off 3 in a row. But it's a phony 3. It's against Miami. They put up 12 runs in one of those games. I honestly, I look at this game, I look at Ross, I look at Velasquez, and I think, I don't know what to do here. I can't take Philadelphia minus 220. They're not deserving of my money. They're 16-12 on the season. And I don't know what to do on the over and under either. This game for me is an outright pass. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I to tell you the truth, I would look towards, I guess, 5 dimes just went under 2 at minus 195. But as far as, like you just touched on, I mean, laying this much of a price with a team that's, not absolutely killing it is something that's hard to make money long term, Prez. Ross, a little bit past his prime. I think Philadelphia is the better team with the better pitcher.
Agreed.
It's just too much money to lay. And also with the home team, I don't like laying the minus 1.5 run line, 9 at bats to 8 at bats. So I stick away from that. And you're right. You bring up the total and keep in mind, guys, that it's getting a little colder up there in the Northeast, I believe. I know the Minnesota game is looking very cold. So as far as betting overs, at least for today and in the next couple days, kind of pump the brakes a little bit. So it was a pass for me as well, Prez.
I was actually on the Chicago White Sox under last night. It covered for me, but I was also on Washington. And they went up 3-0 and played great, played outstanding for 8 of 9 innings. They lost 6-3. And here we go again, hosting St. Louis tonight. St. Louis is 18-10 on the season. Outstanding. First place in the NL Central. They are up 7 units for all customers betting them on the money line. But Drew, they're up 12 units if you've taken them straight on the run line start to finish. Both teams are also trending heavy to the over. 16-9 to the over for St. Louis and 17-9 to the over for Washington. You got Washington here at a very soft minus 105, and we have a 9.5 as the total. We only saw 9 yesterday, 6-3 win by St. Louis. And St. Louis has won 3 games in a row and 8 of their last 9. They're also hitting the ball all over the park. 6-5, 6-1, 5-4, 13, 6-10, 4. Those are the runs they've put up in their last 10 games. Washington as well, playing to the over, but losing a lot of games, Drew. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of their last 10. I don't know when they're going to turn it around, but I can't put my money on them. Anibal Sanchez versus Adam Wainwright. This is not the Adam Wainwright of old. He's got a 4 ERA. Sanchez a 6 ERA. I'm looking to take over the total in this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk you off the over at all. I mean, just keep in mind the weather. And you bring up Wainwright. He's definitely past his prime, but he hasn't. He's not as bad. He's put together some solid starts, 3 earned runs and less. So getting him here at minus 110 or less in the marketplace, I think that's worth a look. You brought it up. St. Louis is hot right now. It's something I like to do in baseball is kind of ride the hot, fade the cold. Not that Washington's too cold, at least for their lineup, but I'm looking towards the Cardinals here on the road at almost a pick 'em price.
He's Drew Martin. I'm the Prez. You're watching First Pitch. You can find it every day at WagerTalk TV, our YouTube channel, largest sports handicapping channel on the planet. Probably 7 or 8 years younger than some site called Pregame. They have 7,000 YouTube followers. We have 22,000. Oakland at Boston. Boston just cannot seem to have to turn this around. 12-17 on the season. Minus 15.5 units if you bet them on the money line. Minus 12.5 units if you bet them on the run line. Look, Oakland's not that much better, but it's not like we expected Oakland to be a monster. We did with Boston. 62% of the money right now is coming in on Boston. They are minus 150, and it's the same thing every day. Minus 150. There's 170s on the board. Over and under is 9.5. Drew, it's the same shit every day. It's like people just want to bet Boston so badly that they are permanently a big chalk favorite with a losing record. Oakland's lost 4 in a row. They're not a good team. They just lost to Boston. Here I sit again. Like, I cannot give Boston my money with this type of chalk. It's just not possible. But I can't bet on Oakland in this spot. It's almost like I don't know what to do with any Red Sox games. You know they're going to turn it around, and you just don't want them to turn it around the day you start betting against them. Porcello on the mound, 7.4 ERA, 2 whip, dude. Brooks, 5.3. I'm playing the over.
Yeah, the over's worth a look, and I also think Oakland's worth a look here. I mean, bring up
of course
Porcello.
they are.
Yeah, with a 2 whip and laying minus 150, that's pretty ridiculous. I don't know if it's the uniforms, if it's Fenway Park,
It's the uniforms.
Whatever it is.
It's the Boston Army just driving the lines.
I don't disagree with you. And I will say this about Oakland. I think that they're a decent team. You bring up the 4 losses in a row. Last night I was actually on them, took the loss. Montez just got hit up. But their series in Toronto, right there in your neck of the woods, I kind of felt like they got the short end of the stick. Vlad Guerrero Jr. in the lineup. We've seen it before. Some of these baseball teams, they get a young guy in and it just kind of turns them around. That stadium looked like it had, great atmosphere in there, and the team really fed off of it. So I was looking to kind of buy low on Oakland. They did lose last night, so I would look towards them again here at a plus price. I think that Oakland is worth a look. Going against a pitcher with a 2 whip laying minus 150, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's Oakland.
I agree. It's Oakland in the over. Boston is minus 15, 16 units if you bet them on the money line all year. Miami is minus 7.
Think about that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, 8-20 on the season, and you've only lost half as much money betting Miami as you would have betting the Red Sox. Miami's hosting Cleveland tonight, brother. Cleveland is minus 200. The over and under is 7. Look, there's not a chance in hell I'm going to take Cleveland in this spot. Not a chance in hell. Minus 200 on the road. Cleveland has lost their last 2 games. They only put up 1 run in their last game against Houston. Miami's a disaster. We know it. We see it. It's just too much money to lay. We got Trevor Bauer on the mound versus Alcantara. Miami can't hit. Just stay. Nothing. I have no opinion on this game.
Yeah, Prez. I mean, Miami definitely can't hit for whatever reason. But I will say this: their starting pitching, it can be good. I mean, Caleb Smith, what he's been able to do, Alcantara, these guys are high ceiling guys. They're guys that have a lot of talent. So it's a team where, laying minus 200 against them, it's not a profile I like. If I'm laying minus 130, minus 140 against Miami, I'm comfortable. But minus 200 against teams like that where they can come out. Let's put it. He could go 7-8 innings, 1 earned. He might not. He likely won't. But that's a possibility here for a lot of these starting pitchers on Miami. So if they come out guns blazing, laying minus 200, I don't like doing it. It's not the profile I like to bet against Miami. I like minus 120 to minus 140 area. I think you can make a lot of money going against the Marlins, but not here. So I pass.
And Cleveland's only 15-12 on the season. It's not like they have earned us betting them at minus 200. The Reds, dude, playing the Mets. Mets are 14-14. Reds 12-16. Both below 3 units if you bet them on the season. Cincinnati, brother. This team just keeps trending to the under. 7-20 on the year. The Mets keep trending to the over. 18-7 to the over on the year. I'm waiting. I've said this last week. I'm waiting for the Cincinnati bats to wake up, and I think they ultimately will. The over and under here is 8. Cincinnati put up 5 last night against the Mets in a 5-4 win. And they had a 12 spot against St. Louis, a 7 spot against Atlanta. The New York Mets, they've lost 4 of their last 5 games, but this team is either scoring a lot or letting a lot of runs in. 8's a bit low for me here, regardless of who's on the mound. Vargas versus Castilla. I mean, Vargas, 15 innings pitched, 7 ERA, 2 whip. Castilla, though, what a start to the year, dude. 0.95 whip, 1.2 ERA, 3-1 on the season. But what I like here and why I like the over is however good Castillo is, and he's pitching outstanding, the Mets are going over the total in almost every game. 3 overs in the last 4. They're hitting the ball. I'm going with over 8 in this game.
I'll tell you, Prez, Luis Castillo, it's a great baseball name. Not only one of the best second basemen in my lifetime, he's the major league leader in ERA so far this year, 1.23. He throws gas. He gets a lot of strikeouts. He did let up 8 hits last game out. Little question there, but I like Cincinnati here, and we get him at a low price. Minus 106 right now? So it's pretty much a pick-em price. The market's...
Yeah. With one of the best pitchers in baseball. You're right, brother. You're right. And Cincinnati's a better team than their record. That is for sure.
And you bring up the hitting, and they're hitting a lot better of late. And going against New York Mets and Vargas, he hasn't made it out of the 4th inning in quite some time. So also, they've done decent against lefties. So I think Cincinnati minus at a pick-em price is the side here.
San Diego, second in the NL West against Atlanta. 14-4 Atlanta hosting tonight. Atlanta's playing to the over, but just slightly, 15-12. It's in reverse for San Diego. And the bottom line is, I've been saying this all year, I expect San Diego to play to the under all year, and I expect Atlanta to play to the over all year. 65% of the money is coming in on Atlanta. They're minus 112. We have an 8.5 on the board in this game. San Diego's lost their last two. They lost 3-1 last night. They lost 7-6 to Washington. Before that, though, they did win 5 straight. This San Diego team is not going away, Drew. 16-13. Whenever they have had a losing streak, like going and playing against Cincinnati at home 7-8 games ago and losing 3 in a row, then they bounce back and rattle off a 5 spot. Atlanta won their last 2 games. Tehran versus Paddock. Paddock, we're talking about Luis Castillo. I mean, this boy's thrown 27 innings, 6.67 whip, probably the lowest in baseball for that amount of innings, and a 1.67 ERA. Tehran, 5.4 ERA, not very good. I think San Diego is very live tonight.
I don't disagree with you. I like Paddock. And I will say this. Tehran is a big home road split guy. Got some numbers here. He has 11 innings at home in SunTrust Park, only 2 earned runs, 13 strikeouts. He's given up 17 earned runs on the road, so he is at home. And a lot of people will point towards, over the last few years, he hasn't been good in Atlanta. But keep in mind, they made the switch to a new park just last year, so they got SunTrust Park. He's pitched well here, so I would look to ride that trend. And what you were looking at on San Diego with Paddock, a good pitcher coming from the right side, a lot of strikeouts. I would lean more towards the first half under, the first 5 under 4.5, and you can get it at a plus price, plus 100. So that's what I'm going towards, the first 5 under 4.5.
He's Drew Martin. I'm the Prez. Drew is at sportsmemo.com. It's $2 Tuesdays, everyone. Make sure to head to Sports Memo and get Rob Vino's 5% NBA play and WagerTalk.com. Ralph Michaels from Cal Sports MLB Game of the Week. Houston are 17-12, but they're 2 games under 500 on the road. They're playing the Twinkies, who are 17-9 on the season, Drew. The Twins at 17-9 find themselves at plus 150. Houston is minus 172. Minnesota won 1-0 yesterday. Houston has won 2 of their last 3, but they've lost 3 of their last 5 games. Let's just get to the bottom line here. It's Cole versus Pineda. I don't know how you can't take the home team in this spot.
Yeah, I like the Twins as well. And we also got Garrett Cole. He's 1-4, 4.7 ERA. Even though he's a sexy name, he hasn't been that good this year. 14 earned runs on the road, 5 earned runs at home. Another home road split guy, and he's on the road. Minnesota can hit. So I'm with you. At a plus price here, I think the Twins is worth a bet.
Colorado against Milwaukee, 13-6 Colorado, 16-14 Milwaukee. Both teams are playing to the under. Milwaukee won last night 5-1. They are a minus 103 favorite. They're not really the favorite. The other team is the favorite, minus 118. 8.5 on the board. Colorado has lost 2 games in a row. Let me bottom line this for you, Drew. Marquez versus Chassin. I can't pronounce that, and I'm tired. I like the home team, dude. I know that their pitcher is a disaster with a 6.35 ERA, 1.4 WHIP. But the bottom line is they are such a short. Minus 105. I think Milwaukee is just a better team than Colorado, and I don't want to overthink this, so I'm just going to say Milwaukee is where the money should go.
All right, Prez. His name is Julio Chassin.
I said Chassin.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Your Latin name pronunciation is good. You must know a lot of Latin women in your life.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, they're chasing me down the street. Move on.
All right, well, we got Marquez on the road here. He's a home road split guy, and he's good on the road. When he gets out of Coors Field, he's been a lot better. So that's one reason to look at Colorado. Also, another thing here, keep in mind, for the Milwaukee lineup, Christian Yelich, one of the best players in baseball, was out last night, back spasms. Also, it's one of those things with back spasms. It's not like he's going to get a late inning pitch hit in a volatile situation to help out Milwaukee. If he doesn't play, which is what I would look for, if he's not in the lineup, I would be on Colorado. So I'd wait a little bit because we're filming this a little after 9 a.m. Pacific time. So don't know if he's going to be in the lineup. If he's not in the lineup, I would look towards Colorado.
He wasn't in last night, and Milwaukee still won. I'm not with you there, brother. But let's see if we can agree on Pittsburgh versus Texas. You know, Texas are 14-13 on the year, but they're up 7 units if you've bet them on the money line all the way through, and they're 10-4 at home. They're trending to the over 16-10, but when is Texas not trending to the over? It's 11 on the board. Texas is minus 115 in this game. Pittsburgh is just in a free fall. I mean, absolute disaster. They have lost 8 games in a row. Last night was at least close. They only lost a 1-run game. Not last night, 2 nights ago against the Dodgers. They were on an off day yesterday. Texas has won 2 in a row, but has lost 5 of their last 7. You know, I'll bottom line this to you again, and you talk about how you like to play the hot teams. It has to work in converse. Pittsburgh has lost in reverse. Pittsburgh has lost 8 in a row, yet they're minus 105. There's no chance I'm betting them tonight. I'm laying off this game, but if I had to bet it, I would take Texas.
Yeah, I'm with you. I haven't seen Samson pitch yet, so I want to do a little bit more research on him. But yeah, ride the hot, fade the cold. It does work in the opposite order. And you brought up Texas being at home, playing towards the over. Also just at, minus 108, low water mark. Yeah, it's Texas or pass for me too, Prez.
Drew, we're talking about Baltimore, but before we get into that, the Yankees are 17-11 on the season. They're minus 4 units if you've bet them on the money line. Boston is minus 15 units if you've bet them on the money line. Baltimore is 10-20. 10-20, and they're even money if you bet them on the money line. It goes to show how important it is to stay away from these minus 200s. Last night they played the White Sox. I took under 8.5. It ended up 5-3. It's 8.5 again. The White Sox are minus 140, and this team, well, they're no better. 12-14. Okay, that's a lot better. But when it all comes to a wash at the end of the season, they'll be within 5 wins of each other. Both teams stink. Baltimore playing to the over. The White Sox are playing to the over. I know I took the under last night, Drew. We got Cashner and Nova on the mound tonight. This is a stone cold over to me.
I was going to say nice bet on the under last night because you got a healthy number of 8.5. Tonight, keep in mind it is cold weather. That's one thing to point towards the under. Minus 140 for the White Sox. I think they're a lot better team than Baltimore. So I would look towards the favorite being at home at not too steep of a price at minus 140, but it's not a game I bet. Tampa
Bay 19-9, yet they've only made you 6 units if you've bet them. Against Kansas City, 9-20 on the season. Kansas City's playing to the over, though. Bad pitching, decent, not great, but decent hitters. 18-10 to the over. We find Kansas City at plus 145. 8 is the number, brother. Tampa Bay is so good. They've won 3 in a row, 2 of them against Boston. They walloped Kansas City last night, 8-5. Kansas City, just a disaster of a team. But Snell is pitching really well for Tampa Bay. 0.92 whip, 2.54 ERA. And Jacob Junis, for Kansas City, a 5.5 ERA. That's pretty impressive. I got to look at the over in this game, Drew. 8 is a low number, and I understand Snell is really, really good. But if you go down Kansas City's lineup, they're putting runs on the board. Not necessarily a lot, but they put up 5 yesterday, 3 the day before against Anaheim, 9 the day before that, 10 against Tampa Bay. Prior to that, this team is hitting the ball. I think 8 is low. I lean on the over.
I don't really have a play on the over-under, but I do like minus 166 for Tampa Bay. Like you touched on, Blake Snell is a really good pitcher. It's just a matter of laying a hefty price on the road if you feel comfortable with it against Junis, who hasn't been lights out at all this season. So you get the better team, better pitcher. It's just a matter of price point. I like it under minus 170. It's not something I would definitely recommend to clients. It's just too pricey, but I look towards Tampa Bay, especially if the market comes against us and you can get it in the minus 150s.
Always tough to bet the Yankees, Drew, even in their height, even when Mantle was around. The bottom line is it's, the largest population in America. It's got the largest fan base in America. New York people are big-time bettors, and there's never true market value on the Yankees. 17-11 on the season. This team can't frickin' lose. This team has done better with a bunch of guys nobody's heard of than with their actual lineup. Will be interesting to see when all their injured guys come back what happens. 3 in a row, swept San Fran, had a night off. 9 of their last 10. The only game they lost was 11-5 to Anaheim. But now they face Greinke tonight, and Greinke is a good pitcher, minus 140 for Arizona, 8.5 on the board in the total. Sabathia is good too, and he's had a great start to the season, at least for the small sample size of innings pitched, 15 innings pitched, 2.4 ERA. Look, here's the bottom line for me. I like the over, and I know I'm saying the over a lot here, but New York just can't stop scoring. They put up an 11 spot against San Fran. 11-6-7, 5-6-7, 4-7-9-6. Those are the runs that the Yankees have put up in their last 10 games. Literally not one game in the last 10 under 4 runs. There's no reason to think they won't put up between 4 and 7 tonight. And Arizona, they put up a 5 spot against the Cubs, then a 1, then an 8, then a 5, then an 11, a 2, a 12. It's not like they can't score. I think this number is low at 8.5. I like the over, and I do lean on the Yankees because why not? Just ride this thing, baby.
I guess the only reason why not would be Greinke. He is pretty decent at this stage in his career, going against Sabathia. Off to a good start, but it's a short sample size here, so you get him on the road, might look to fade that. But I'm with you on the over. I'm into riding hot lineups, even through the injuries. The Yankees are able to plate some runs. Arizona at the same side, putting up some crooked numbers. So I look towards the over 8.5, Prez.
Dodgers, San Fran. Dodgers 19-12 on the season, pretty much even on the over-unders. San Fran 12-17 and 11-16 to the under. And well, we knew this. I told you this all year round. This team is going to play to the under all the time. And it's interesting, Drew, they are minus 3 units if you've bet them on the money line, but they're minus 14 if you've bet them on the run line. And it goes to prove that the San Fran team just cannot score a ton of runs. You go down, look, 3 runs, 5, 4, 3, 4, 7, 3. Those are impressive numbers for San Fran run-wise. I don't think this team is going to average much more than 3 runs a game, to be honest with you. Very low total at 7, so I cannot bet the under here tonight. San Fran is plus 115 to 120. The Dodgers anywhere from minus 140 to minus 150. It's Buehler versus Pomerantz. I like the road team.
Walker Buehler,
best name in baseball.
Oh, it's great. I love it. And but he is a volatile pitcher so far. He's got over a 5 ERA, even though he is a high ceiling guy, somebody I think is going to have a great career, especially if he can stay healthy. Last game, just 1 strikeout versus 8 strikeouts 2 games before. He's had multi-walk games in 3 of his last 4 games, so some control issues. The Giants have struggled against righties, but they do have the better bullpen, so that's something that I would look towards the Giants. And Drew Pomeranz on the hill coming from the left side. The Dodgers rake righties against lefties. They're not nearly as potent. So getting a plus price here on San Francisco, I think is worth a look. I haven't bet it yet because going against Walker Buehler, he can be volatile. And if he has it going, it's going to be a tough bet. But I would actually look towards the plus price with the home team.
He's Drew Martin. I'm the Prez. 2 more games to go, and one of them is the Toronto Blue Jays. 14-14 on the season. They're playing against the Angels, who are 12-17 on the year. Dude, the Blue Jays are rolling. 3 in a row, swept Oakland. They've won 7 of their last 9 games. And they feel really good about themselves, Drew. I mean, look, nobody thinks this team is going to contend for the wild card. But there's a lot of excitement going on around Toronto. They've got some decent young players. They are hitting the ball. That's for damn sure. And they're a plus 120, 130 dog tonight. The over and under is 9. Drew, look, Angels won 3 of their last 4. I get it. But here's really the bottom line. Toronto is super hot, and there's no reason to play against them right now. Let's see what happens over the next few games. But a team that's won 3 in a row and 7 of 9 deserves our money. If we're going to get a plus price, I like the Blue Jays.
I do too. And you talk about we talk about ride the hot, fade the cold. Not that there's a cold team here, but Toronto with the change with Vladimir Guerrero, that stadium was hopping. There's some buzz. I guess they do get on the road here, so it might be a little bit different. But I'm not looking to step in front of this Blue Jays team, at least not right now. I think that they're young, they got some talent, and they're rolling right now. They're hitting the ball. So at a plus 130, available pretty much everywhere in the marketplace, I would look towards Toronto.
Last game on the board, brothers. Seattle 18-13 against the Cubbies. 14-12, slowly turning their year around. Chicago's won their last 2 games. They've won 5 of their last 7. They're on the road tonight at minus 154. The over and under is 9. Seattle, I get it. They lost their last 2 games against Texas. They've lost 5 of their last 7 games. Hamels versus Fernandez, the king. Dude, there's just no chance that I am playing the Cubs at minus 150 against a Seattle team that, although has come down to earth, is still winning games. I think Seattle's the play here.
Yeah, Prez, I don't know about you. Felix Hernandez, I thought he was like 40 years old. He's 33 years old. I've been trying to fade him. Yeah, I know. Is that crazy?
Did he start pitching when he was 13?
Exactly. And coming into this year, I was looking to fade him. His velocity dropped and everything. I've lost 2 or 3 units on him already this season. I'm pumping the brakes on that. And also last game, 7 innings, just 1 earned run, 8 Ks and 1 walk. He's looking good. Both bullpens below average by my numbers. And here's the stat. Seattle, a 146 weighted runs created number. That is a very good stat that I like to use, and they're the best in MLB versus lefties. They're facing a lefty tonight, so I'm going to stop fading Felix Hernandez, and I'm going to jump on Seattle at a plus price. They're hot against lefties. I'm going to ride that number. I like Seattle at home.
Drew, I think it's the best value bet on the board.
I'm with you. I like it. Late night action, Seattle, plus money.
I'm the Prez. He, my friends, is Drew Martin, sportsmemo.com, wagertalk.com, and this is First Pitch, found at our YouTube channel, WagerTalk TV, almost 22,000 subscribers, almost more than 3 times as much as our loving competitor pregame. Yeah. Last week I started a rant against them, and I'm just continuing all the way through. You don't need to say anything. I'll do all the dirty work. Drew, love you, bro. We'll see you next Tuesday.
But Prez, if you really hate it, you shouldn't bring up their name.
Yeah, no, listen. I get it, right? Like, we're saying the name of our competitor and helping the brand and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'd rather annoy RJ than anything else.
Well, poke him a little bit, man. All right, Prez.
Thanks for all the staff, RJ. Okay. Ciao, buddy.
All right, best of luck out there, everyone. Thanks for watching.